Entering parallel worlds. I went to grab the link for my pre-order launch and my jaw dropped. Entering Parallel Worlds, The Light in the Mirror is officially the #1 new release in Alchemy, and its predecessor, Light Body Initiations, The Key to the New Earth, is holding strong right next to it at #2. It's been #1 for 2 weeks in a row, at least, and early on as well. I'm incredibly grateful for this magical surprise, and thank you all for making this alignment possible. Lock in your pre-order copy here before the July 14th launch, and I'll put the link below. And happy full moon day to all of you. Although the full moon takes place later tonight, it deeply activates the emotional body now. And remember, what you started 2 weeks ago at that new moon continues to manifest. I have spoken a little bit about parallel worlds here on my podcast, and we have entered a parallel world where we went into a state of consciousness more than once that was different than our current one and different than our life, daily life right now. And there are many ways to perceive how these changes take place in the physical world afterwards. In the book, I write about states of consciousness and a little on my own experiments with going into trance and entering parallel worlds. Seeing the difference there, feeling the difference there, seeing the different me there, then anchoring it here into the physical world. It resulted in rapid changes in my life, including physically, including how I looked physically. Whether you want to call it entrainment, resonance, or literally stepping into another world. And a timeline shift here, and that part is up to you. And I can't explain why it works. I do know something from my experiments, though. Everything I ever taught, I tested out myself extensively first. And then I only taught what worked. That includes all my writing, my YouTube activations, yoga classes, and initiations. As a hypnotherapist, I understand how bypassing the conscious brain that seems to be the thing in the way of miracles, of dramatic timeline shifts, and real change. The funny thing to me is I always knew this. Of course, as a walk-in, which I don't expect anyone to truly understand, but it is my truth of my consciousness and memory. I already knew this. I saw what was in the way people thought about themselves, how they didn't reveal, how they were. I would be able to sense and literally see what they said, what they were thinking, and then what their soul wanted, and I would see it all not matching for the majority of people I met. That is what I call disharmony. Harmony is when your thoughts match your words, so that's being genuine, and then which matches your soul purpose and your soul, the unconditional love of your soul and the purity of being. So I witnessed miracles taking place in my yoga classes, sessions, people all around me. Even at the age of 14, I was a professional psychic. I would see, and a medium, I would see beings. In several cases, especially one, really proved to the family that I did in fact see their loved one that had just crossed over. Now, why am I mentioning all these different things where usually we go into a meditation and relaxation? Because The world of all possibilities truly exists. I can say that because I've tested it out and I've seen it. Also, the thinking mind, which I bypassed, what people thought, I observed, was rarely ever true. Now, why is that? Because in the subconscious mind, in this life and including past lives, exists a blueprint, an original blueprint, and through the masking, being disingenuous, this creates a powerful filter. The filters become the distorted thinking that lead to even greater distortion of thought. Then it becomes a repetitive pattern that people get locked in unaware. They're believing that's just them. And then that isn't even true. That's not the real them. That's just the pattern, the programming. So through entering parallel worlds, going into deep alpha, theta, even delta states of consciousness, which basically becomes, especially the delta state, a conscious REM state, where one bypasses the block and enters and reprograms the subconscious mind and replaces those blocks with the truth. With the truth. The real you is divine. The real you is already perfect. The real you is already connected to all the parallel worlds. So when we enter the parallel worlds together in the new book, and some will take place here on the podcast, there's going to be a total reprogramming that takes place where we enter the parallel world in a different state of consciousness, bypassing the brain. So you're relaxed, you're focused on a breath, and I'll be introducing a special breath with this. And then literally you're going to see yourself that's a different you, a higher frequency you in a different world. We can call them timelines, different timelines, whatever you want to call that. The main thing is, when you come back, through resonance, whatever you want to call it, through wiping out all programming, bypassing the brain, where the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference from what you feed it, all the negative thoughts every day, or suddenly a deep, profound spiritual, alchemical transformation. Subconscious mind just follows directions. There's going to be a third book in the trilogy, and this one is for total reprogramming through 365 days of practices that you'll be doing every day. It's really profound. All of this is profound. And of course, the first book, Light Body Initiations, The Key to the New Earth, it's through 72 invocations that we align our consciousness with, which are the non-distorted virtues that make up the original blueprint. How humans were created to be through the Elohim, the first civilization. We all existed in a fifth dimensional state of being. I could go on about the Emerald Tablets, all kinds of things that refer to it, but the real program and the design was known over 500 million Earth years ago. The first civilization, it was created then. It's not new. It has always been since before time when it was created, and now through time. And it's all coexisting, the parallel world. So I'm not inventing something new. These exist. In our original state of consciousness, we are all masters of form. And we will all be so again. We don't have to cross over to enter the fifth dimension and higher. We can do this while we're in form. We are meant to. You are meant to. All those who are listening, you're meant to. This is alchemy. I've witnessed this around me so many times, too many to count. And one day I'll write a book just on all the profound things I have seen and witnessed. People around me have perceived this as miracles, literal miracles. What I see it as, I remove the block. In the realm of the quantum field, if you want to call it, in the realm of parallel worlds, the landscape of the world, and all the parallel worlds and parallel universes, is the realm of all possibilities and already exists. Remember, you lived once in a state of pure divinity. When the thinking brain is out of the way and quiet, we access the unique format of complete transformation, inputting the truth. This is the power we have to transform all things in our lives. So for now, even these words carry frequencies of transformation. Why? Because they're transmitting from the realm of all possibilities, the quantum field. I know what I've seen, witnessed within me and others. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm asking you to try these things out and see for yourself. Things that you would describe as impossible, I can tell you, for me, they are possible. For you, they can be too, if the block to the thoughts that it isn't so transform into knowing the world of all possibilities, the realm of all possibilities. If you want to call it a 0 point, the quantum field, these are just human words. The sun didn't call itself the sun. The moon didn't call itself the moon. These are human things, words. That's why I know this is transmitting way beyond the words that you think you're hearing. So this full moon, and if you're listening to this afterwards, everything is coexisting. Hold this hope that you too can enter parallel worlds, which then in turn change the here and now, which then in turn changes the parallel world, which then in turn transforms here again. It's all interconnected. What I'm saying, subconsciously you've already heard, because really there is no time. I'm not asking you to grasp this with the thinking mind. I'm asking you to cherish your life, to love yourself, to be open to the realm of all possibilities, and to know that the once thought of impossible is truly possible. This book, this new book, Entering Parallel Worlds, The Light in the Mirror, is available launching on the new moon, July 14th, and is available now for pre-order. In it, I share how to transform through the parallel journeys we'll be going on together. And how you see yourself and how you feel yourself to be will be transformed and even is transforming now, because I am speaking directly to your subconscious mind, even if you're not aware of it. It's for you expanding your heart, expanding out into the universe, feeling and knowing you're one with all that is. And if that's true, you are one with all that is, then you have access to the realm of all possibilities, the quantum field. What you focus on and think about takes place. However, if it's the old programming, the same thing takes place over and over. And a person can believe they're stuck. However, once again, when we change and enter a different state of consciousness, where the mind is quiet, and we speak the truth, and we enter into realities that are new to us, I could say for myself, it literally changes here. It's all interconnected, and I know I'm one with all that is. I know you are too, but it's you that needs to know and experience it by changing that old programming, by entering into the truth, the one deep in your heart you know is true. You know you're a divine being. Celebrate this full moon with the Divine Council of Overseers and Archangel Metatron, the Queen of Light, and more sacred beings, light beings from other universes. The parallel worlds already know you. Let's enter them together. In love always, divine love. Laura.